and then I read the Bible, and then I left the Hebrew Israelite Church.
Jesus belongs to Africa as much as he does to Europe and Asia. And Jesus was not a white man like me, nor was he as black as some of you. We don't know what the color of his skin, but it must have been a dark color like the people of his day, because he was a man like them. Don't ever say it's a white man's religion or a black man's religion. It's a world religion. He belongs to the world. Jesus belongs to Africa, to Europe and Asia. Jesus belongs to the world.
Sir, I don't use Strong's Concordance. I teach Hebrew. See, I'm sorry. Strong's Exhaustive Concordance is not an inspired source. It's very dated, and I'm sorry, but anyone who's dependent upon that is going to stumble many, many times. It's just, I just highly recommend to you actually learning the language. It would help a lot.
God has answered your prayer. You said, why doesn't he send the Spirit of truth? He did. He sent Jesus. And when Jesus left, he sent the Holy Spirit, according to John 13 through 15. So what you're asking for, God has done in the person of Jesus. And guess what? How did the world receive Jesus, Sonetta? They didn't receive him. They crucified him. And if they could, a lot of them would crucify him again. Hear what you're saying? But he's done it. And that's the beauty of Jesus, is he's saying, you deserve judgment. I'll take the judgment. So the Son takes the judgment that we all deserve. That's the beautiful thing, Sonetta, because none of us can pay for our own sin.
belongs to the world.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are going to be discussing this brand new book by IURC, Israel United in Christ, Hebrew Israelite Group. And why are we covering that? Because this is Street Apologists Live, and this is the show where we serve the underserved and look into the overlooked. And I'm your host, Vocab Malone. Very glad to see you guys here on a Friday night. Welcome to the program. Got a fire lineup. And when I say fire, I mean fire. Multiple guests. We're going to be doing an apologetics book review. First guest, welcome back to the program, Jesse Walsh. Show us the physical copy of the book, Jesse Walsh. Tell us, give us a feel of this book. Let me take a look here. Can you? It's
very thin, so it's questionable, but
okay.
It's rather interesting. We're going to some stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting.
What's it look like inside there? Let's see, because most of it have a digital copy, but you got the real deal, man.
It's just your regular blank pages. It's 88 pages we're looking at.
What's it say on the back? Can you read us the blurb?
Oh, let's read it. Let's see if you can read it. Is it backwards? Am I backwards?
I can do it. Matthew 6:9.
Yeah.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So the back
Interesting
of the book
they would put that. Yeah.
is what people call the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, Forgiving others their trespasses. What?
What is
Israelite trespasses. Yeah.
That's bizarre. Okay, tell people how to find you online before I bring up the next guest.
Yeah, you can find me at The Reassembling, TikTok, Clapper, Twitter, Twitch, all that fun stuff. I do a podcast with Mom. Hi, Mom. How are you doing today?
Hi, Mom.
You can follow me at jesse.walsh.4090 on Instagram, as well as Jesse Walsh on Facebook.
All right, we got our next guest coming to the program, the one and only Jim Green. How you doing, brother Jim Green? Are you ready to review the IUIC book today?
I was ready the night it dropped, bro. I'm serious. I've been waiting for this all week.
When did it drop?
March 1st, I think.
March 1st.
I mean, it's crazy to think about it. Like, it used to cost millions to advertise on TV, and now...
Okay. They should have waited a month, put it out on April Fool's, you know? But okay, so it came out on March 1st. So the book's about 2 weeks or so, right? And Jim Green, can you tell people how to find your content online, my man?
Yeah, you can find me on, of course, YouTube at In Context with Jim Green on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook at JL Green. You can also find me on TikTok at Jim4 Green. I'm sorry, Jim Green 4 Real on TikTok. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Now we have a first-time guest coming to the show all the way from... This is a weird setup. I got to fix this. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. Mr. Debunking Hebrew Israelites. This is your first time on the show. Tell us who you are and how you got here and what you do.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Dwayne. I go by the handle of Debunking Hebrew Israelites, which is a pleasure of mine. You know, it's a pleasure to debunk the Hebrew Israelites. I got into this about 6 years ago during the pandemic on Clubhouse, and was very intrigued. I started off about 12 years ago. Was watching some Israelites during debates because I used to go against the conscious community. So I seen this brother, this person named Captain Tazariak, and he was going at Brother Polite. And I liked what he was saying against the conscious community. And he was talking about how black people are and Native Americans and Hispanics are the children of Israel. And I was like, what? So, and I remember reading Deuteronomy 28:68 a couple years before that, and thinking like, wow, this seemed like this could be talking about what happened to black people, and I've never thought about it again until I came across Captain Tazariak. So I was watching him a couple of videos, and I ran into the video where he was with Sarnetta, and they were talking to this little kid who was who he was telling the little kid that the little kid couldn't come to the cookout.
He was not invited to the cookout. Yeah, because
he wasn't invited to the cookout because he was from Ghana, and he called him a Hamite. And ever since then, I had a disdain in my mouth for Hebrew Israelism. So I started studying. Then I left it alone until the pandemic. During the pandemic, I got on Clubhouse and immediately was entered into a room that was talking about the Hebrew Israelites. And I was listening to their doctrine for a good 2-3 months, just sitting in the audience. And then I started going up challenging them. And I got heavily involved in it. You know, I was mentored in that by G-Con was one of the people who really helped me in this, getting understanding about this.
Shout out to G-Con.
Yeah, G-Con straight up for sure. G-Con, faithful to God, you know what I'm saying? And I was dealing with them brothers and Albie Al. So, you know, after that, Clubhouse did a little update. I moved to TikTok. And I kind of like, after that update they did, I ain't even want no parts of it.
Yeah.
But I've been on TikTok for about a good 2 years now, just debunking Hebrew Israelites. And I have a large following and a large live following all the time. But y'all can find me on TikTok, mostly on TikTok, but I'm on YouTube as well at Debunking Hebrew Israelites. It's not a job, it's just fun. It's just fun.
But it feels like a job, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah, it does feel like a job.
And yeah, Dwayne, you go by Mr. Debunking Hebrew Israelites, right?
Yep,
Mr. Debunking, I like it.
And last but not least, we have a classic. And when I say classic, I mean absolutely classic. All the way from Brooklyn, New York, the one, the only, BK Apologist. What's up, BK?
Yeah. What's going on?
Now you are going to do a part 2 of this Sunday.
That's right. That's right. We're going to pick apart this pamphlet, you know what I mean, and have some fun doing it.
I'm looking forward to that. Who's
man.
Do you know who your panel is yet? You're allowed to tell us the secret sauce.
You know, I got
let us know.
I got some the usual suspects, and I might have a couple of very interesting cameos as well. So,
okay, how long you think the show? Is it gonna be one of your quick shows, or are you gonna go a little longer this time?
I mean, it depends. You know, I try to keep my shows under an hour, so I can get more replay. But if the spirit leads us to go in, we go in. You know,
sound like the
you never know.
Sound like the heart.
Yeah.
You know what? Just switch the topics. Just as the spirit leads. Well, we're glad you're with us. Tell people how to find your amazing content. You are an OG in this urban apologetic space. If you don't know who BK is, then you don't know what's going on. Tell us how to find your stuff, though.
I mean, YouTube, Instagram, just find me under BK Apologist, and I will appear. So
they gotta say your name or anything, bro?
No, they don't gotta say my name.
Okay.
Look at the mirror 3
York
times.
is the
Just
city.
Say BK. Brooklyn is the borough. Right.
Shout out
Brooklyn's
to the
the
live
borough.
chat. We need you guys to hit that like button, and we need you to please leave a comment. Tell us what time is it where you're at. Tell us what time it is where you are, and your name, please. We need a comment from everybody, and if you could share this link on your social media, we would greatly appreciate that as well. Shout out to Nate and D New. We have the 2 best moderators on God's green earth and Doki Doki Bible Club out there giving people channel memberships. My man Alton Johnson, everyone subscribe to him as well. And now we are underway officially. Let me play this little video, 1:40, where they first kind of made the announcement to the world about this book, and then we're going to comment on it, and then we're going to get into the text of the book. Here we go. All right. It's very interesting.
That all of the soldiers need to order this book. Y'all understand?
Hold on, just everyone. I know it's quiet in the beginning. Listen to what he says. He says it's mandatory that all the soldiers order this book. And he says captains enforce that. Watch this.
It's mandatory that all of the soldiers need to order this book. Y'all understand? Captains enforce that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pull up the next picture. Yes. So you want to speak on it, Cap? You want to speak on it real quick?
All right, y'all, look. I just released this book right here, February 27. It's called Apologetics. Hey, it's called it's called Apologetics because
my man just said his own book title wrong the first time the man said it. I'm sorry. The man has trouble with his own book title.
He's released this book right here, February 27. It's called Apologetics.
No, it's not.
Hey, it's called it's called Apologetics because they're pathetic as hell. It's a biblical response to the urban apologetics and the curses of Deuteronomy 28. This edition 1. I'm getting a full-fledged breakdown of Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 32 on this one. It's probably like 100 and some pages. And then on the second one, it's going to be like another 137 pages. So it's deep dive into each curse, coupled along with Leviticus chapter 26 also. Yes,
well, wait. All praise to the Most High. Hey, Captain, wait a minute. I know why we're going after them, because these are the black apologetics, right? The urban ones. Yes, sir. My question is, this ain't a question to us, a question to the Negroes that's in that foolishness. Why the hell did they have to be the urban ones? Why couldn't they be the regular white ones? They got
because they're not white.
Segregation in the damn thing as well. They say you niggas ain't with us. You be the nigga apologist. That's basically.
Hey,
what
I actually
saying.
put that in there too.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Damn, and they all right. They've adjusted.
He actually put that in there too. I don't remember reading that part, but maybe it's in there somewhere. Let's comment on that video, panel. Dwayne, looks like you had something you wanted to say.
It's very interesting. First of all, that they feel the need. They already have the poorest breakdowns on Deuteronomy 28, but they feel the need to have to address apologists because they see how bad they look when apologists go at their doctrine, right? And to call it apologetics, they only hurting themselves. Like it's pathetic that you had to make a book breaking down verses, first of all, when that's what y'all do all day long every time y'all on the camera anyway. Like I don't get it. Like
you know what's interesting?
You know what? I'm thinking money grab. I'm thinking money grab. That's what I'm thinking. But,
well, I mean, we could think that. I mean, honestly, I think it's them feeling the heat a little bit. Yeah. So here's why I say it's them feeling the heat, because
that's what I think too, personally.
Yeah, because check this out. Here's what I mean by that. The book, we're going to get into it. The book in no way addresses urban apologists.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, this is everyone that reads the book immediately is going to be like, "Oh, this book has nothing to do with us." This book is just a revised and expanded and updated edition of what's already on their channel for the defense of Deuteronomy 28. That's all it is.
Yep. Right.
It has nothing to do with actually, what it's supposed to do with. It has nothing to do with that. And so you then say, okay, so why would you call it apologetics ostensibly in response to us? Because I say that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, okay, we're going to respond to you guys, but it's just a restatement of their doctrine. So to me,
it doesn't respond.
Do you guys see? I think they're titling that way because they're feeling the heat, but then they can't really respond to us. They're just going to restate their doctrine, so it's not really response to urban apologetics. BK,
I like what Dean you said in the chat. You said the fact that they realize they now have to address the urban apologists is huge. The effect of the UOA can't be ignored anymore, and they got to do damage control.
Yeah, I agree.
A book, though. I mean, we really shouldn't be calling it a book. It's basically a conjectural manifesto. You hear this stuff all the time on the street corners in their precept classes for 4 hours. I even clipped that from a video. I had the time wrong, vocab. I said 4 hours and whatever. That's how long the class was, 4 hours. Yeah. That's a very average IUIC classroom. It's all the same stuff in there. So where's the actual response?
Hey, does anybody have their phone and can bring up the IUIC store real quick? Just I want you to look at it because I want to run a test on you guys real quick. If you can't grab your phone or laptop, I want everyone to notice something interesting. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the original royalty shop, or I want you to go to the IUIC shop. It's the same thing. If you go to israelunite.org and go into shop or original royalty, and here's what I want you to do. Look under the book section, and I want you to try to find this book. Let me know when you guys find it.
Look it up.
Let me know when you guys find it. So, Jesse, you got it off Amazon, right?
Shop. Yeah, I got it off Amazon.
Yeah, so everyone I know has
I spent my hard-earned wages. But it's funny, I worked for Esau to give Esau's wages to IUIC, so it's a win-win for everybody, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So what's interesting is we're going to be doing another review soon because Nathaniel just dropped a book called Islands of Deception. And IUIC has some guy that put out a book on leadership principles that basically has nothing to do with Hebrew Israelism. It's just a weird leadership book. And my point by saying all that is this is 3 IUIC books at least within the year. The year's, it's only March. It's mid-March, and there's 3 books already. Now, what's interesting, though, is I think they're trying to make sure they push the one book because they're dropping too many. It's like when Wu-Tang was dropping too many albums at once.
Just quantity.
Did you guys find the book on the IUIC
It's not
website?
on here.
Yeah, it's not on there.
Study books, the Island of Deception's up there, though.
It's not on there.
And it's sold out.
Well, the Islands of Deception is sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's this book on the website? What do you guys think? So I noticed that earlier. I have
Not there.
my theory.
Yeah, it ain't there.
I got a theory, but I just wanted to see if you guys had the same experience. So my
Yeah, that's
theory.
wild.
So my theory is they're one up.
Plausible deniability.
No, well that's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. I can see that. Because they did announce it there, but I think they want to emphasize and push Nate's book. Maybe they'll put this on the website after the show, but why is it not on there? I think they're trying to make sure I think we got to push Nate's book first, but I don't know. I thought that was fascinating. Okay, you guys ready to look at this book together?
I think, yeah, go for it.
What are you gonna say, Jesse? Though, go ahead.
I was just saying maybe they don't feel very confident in it. I mean, if I put up something like this, it's really kind of like an afterthought, honestly. I don't think it's really well thought out. I mean, it can't be. It can't possibly. There's nothing sourced.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll get into it.
What's funny is the title doesn't make sense. A biblical response to urban apologetics. That's a good subtitle. And the curses of Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah, what is that?
Is it a biblical response to the curses of Deuteronomy 28?
No response.
Right, exactly.
But I'm saying like the title's confusing. Go ahead, Joe.
All you get in the front, I was just gonna say, all you get in the front, all you get is like an mention in the front, like and the introduction. Shout out to all you apologetics. Yeah, I said it. Y'all are truly apologetic as you continue your desperate attempts to discredit the word of God. But no matter how hard you try, this truth cannot be stopped. All praises to the Most High, to the Holy Spirit, and to his Son, Jesus Christ, the Black Messiah. That's
says Nation of Islam. Yeah.
So, tell me you're a cultist without telling me you're a cultist.
No, but keep going though.
Keep it going, Joe.
I was just going to say, the second part of that is, I see the attacks, the debates, the endless attempts to refute prophecy. But guess what? We're not moved. We will continue to hold the line, standing firm in the truth and casting down every imagination that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, 2 Corinthians 10:5. But let me make it clear. I didn't write this book for you.
Really?
What?
I thought it was
What?
Really?
You didn't write it for... But why you got us on the
you know
title
what? He right.
page?
ChatGPT wrote it for him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you, Catherine.
But it says right here, it says this book is for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the true descendants of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who have been scattered across the world. It's time to wake up. It's time to repent and return to the commandments of the Most High. As you read through these pages, you'll see the undeniable truth. Our people fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28, 58 through 68. No, they don't. And Leviticus 26, 46, 14 through 46. Just as is written in the Holy Bible. There aren't just words. These aren't just words on a page. This is prophecy. This is history. This is our reality. And
Now, what's the subtitle of this cover again? What's the subtitle again?
A biblical response to urban apologetics.
To urban apologetics. But it's not for us, though.
It's not
it's a response to us, but it's not for us.
Indirectly, a response.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think it's almost a way to say this is for our people, meaning the IUIC, because the urban apologists are giving them that work.
Yeah.
And this is edition 1. Stay tuned for edition 2. I think he means it should. I think it should be. This is volume 1. I think that's the way that would work. But it's fine.
Right.
It's fine either way. Okay. So there's the table of contents. So it purports to be essentially a IUIC commentary on each verse of the curse sections of Deuteronomy 28. But if you notice, everyone, it goes 16 to 32. So to the live chat, if you're wondering if verse 68 is in there, it's going to be in the next edition, as they're calling it. So it's not in.
Did you know it's so content heavy how thick it is? That's why they have to do 2 versions. So
yeah,
could just put it all in one book. I mean,
so I'll read them, and then you guys tell me which one you want to go and look at first. Cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Hey, isn't that one of our songs? Except it's blessed.
Yes,
blessed
that's
in
right.
the city. Blessed.
They identify with the curses. We identify with the blessings.
What about the first? What about that one? Verse 16.
Yeah.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store, economic hardships and financial oppression.
But wait, hold up, though. Wait, I want to know why they skipped 15. That's what I want to know. Essentially, there's a couple of places they skipped. This is one of them.
Oh yeah.
And when we talk about the other one later, but I want to know, why do you guys think they did that? I'm befuddled.
It's a Hebrew hopscotch, but typographical version. I don't know.
They don't think things through. Like nothing is, no real thought is put into anything that they do.
You talking about the eating babies curse? You talking about that?
No.
It's
they don't address that. They don't address that in the booklet, right?
He with verse 15, he's saying, but if you will not obey the voice of the Lord your God, or be careful to do all his commandments and the statutes that I command you today, then all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. He's saying that right there. I guess they saw it as perfunctory or whatever. Maybe they just thought they didn't need to do it. I don't know. We'll have to ask the author when we interview him.
Well, I would assume because it's connected to the blessings. We're realizing we're dealing with all of Deuteronomy 28. That's what apologists have been dealing with the whole time.
Maybe that's what they think, but really verse 15 is part of. But so then you got generational curses and economic ruin. Verse 19, a life of constant misfortune. Verse 20, divine wrath, frustration, and failure in all endeavors. 21, 22, plague, sickness, environmental devastation. 23, 24, drought, environmental hardship, and the shackles of oppression. 25, defeat and humiliation before enemies. Verse 26. Verse 25, I think they may be able to get that one because we keep on defeating them and humiliating their doctrine.
Yeah.
I think they may be fulfilling that curse. The curse of death without honor, the curse of incurable diseases and mental madness. The curse of groping and darkness.
I like that one. I kind of touched on that one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why Ariad and Bibbins were seeing visions. The curse of groping in darkness and continued oppression. The curse of broken families. It's funny because they force broken families. Stolen land and economic exploitation. The theft of labor, land, and wealth. That's what IUIC does to its members. The separation of families and powerlessness under oppression. That's what Nate does to everyone under him. Conclusion, the curse is fulfilled. All right, which one do we want to jump to first?
Jim, all yours.
And BK, what do you think?
BK,
what do you think? Just looking, So go ahead, bro.
It was 16 through what?
16 through 32.
32.
Okay, yeah. All right, go ahead.
BK, what do you think? Just looking at the table of contents.
It's like the precept packet, the director's cut. That's kind of what this book is.
Yeah,
it's like
that's a good way to put it. In all seriousness,
behind the scenes, yeah.
Well, just because that's what I was saying. It's what's on the website. It's just expanded, so it's like it's
right.
It's not. I don't know. It's hard I'm trying to think if we can really say it's new. But in all seriousness, extensive. Yeah, in all seriousness, I'm glad they put this to writing. I'm glad that they're giving more commentary on it. So ultimately, for apologists, this is a good thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they can't recant what they've documented.
Well, I think they can. Remember, they switched when the moons. They done switch when you keep track of the moons, and that affects everything. I'm saying they can change whatever they want. And guess what? In their new book, Jesse, Island of Deception, it has a new 12 tribes chart.
It has a new 12 tribes chart. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Just wait till we review it. You guys are going to be shocked.
That's what the world needed. Another 12 tribes chart.
Yeah.
Revised.
They really filled that thing out. I told my friend on the phone today who had left IUIC a number of years ago, I said, man, you was out there just playing side one of the cassette the whole time. You didn't know there was a whole side two. Because he didn't know about this expanded 12 tribes chart they got now. Okay, so where do we want to go first, ladies? Oh, look, they do have 15. They just don't have it in the table of contents.
But verse, but they don't have a breakdown of it. It's not in the breakdown.
No. It's not important.
You could say there's their breakdown, that little paragraph, But where do you guys want to go first?
Well, can I make another point? Okay, so can you go to verse 21? Go to where verse 21 is, 21 and 22, I think it says. I want to show you guys something that's really interesting.
All right, so our first one at the request of In Context with Jim Green. I mean, this is your name, In Context with Jim Green. We're going to look at verse 21. Live chat, if you have your Bibles out if you could please go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and open up the verse 21. Live chat, if you're at home, if you could do that, this would be the way to get the most out of this show, would be to go there and bring up verse 21. All right, it's coming up in a second here. I'm having to do this the old-fashioned way.
21, 22, right, Jim? Because they go together.
I got it.
Correct. Okay, so read this.
All right. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Now, what does that mean? What we know what it means, but what to somebody says what is that speaking to when it says off the land whither thou goest to possess it? What is that talking about? There's the land is specifically talking about.
Sounds like the land of Canaan to me.
It's the land of Canaan, right? Okay, so I have a video that deals with this specific thing where I point this out. Now go to the next page, Rocab. Go to the next page.
Yes, sir.
They're giving breakdowns of all of this stuff, right? Okay, so we have a rereading of the scripture right here. Okay, and then we have this talking about the pestilence and all that type of stuff. Down here where it says a nation plagued by diseases and suffering, and then it goes directly to which verse?
What's that, 22?
Verse 22. How come we don't have a breakdown of 21? I'm going to tell you why they don't have a breakdown of 21. Because if they have to break down this verse, they have to admit that the transatlantic slave trade is not in the Bible, because we know by looking at the data that where did the Africans come from? Mostly West Africa, right? So you either have to make Canaan into West Africa, you understand what I'm saying? Or how are you going to make this fit into the biblical narrative? That's the reason why they left it off here. I don't see any other reason.
He is right. There is no breakdown for it, unless I'm missing something. What do you guys think of that?
No.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
There's no breakdown, dude. There's no breakdown. You broke down the whole thing and left this out.
Think about it. Think about it like this. Right? You don't get an argument from them on where the blessings are taking place from. The blessings take place in the land that they're. Deuteronomy 28 is explaining to the children of Israel how they are to conduct themselves when they go to possess the land. So the blessings are going to govern them or going to protect them in the land. So of course the curses are going to happen to them and happen from the exact same place that the blessings are going to take place. You won't find none of them saying that they're blessed in America, even though they claim to be law keepers. But they'll say the curses are American, but the blessings are in the land. It don't make sense when you think about it either way. I got a good verse I want to go to after this one.
Okay.
It is interesting, guys. Just look at this: a nation plagued by disease and suffering. Deuteronomy 28:22 expands on the severity of the curses, listing specific afflictions: consumption, historically linked to tuberculosis, a disease that has disproportionately affected black and poor communities due to poor health care and living conditions. By the way, if it says "and poor communities," that's not a color or a culture thing.
That's not very ethnic specific.
Yeah. Fever, chronic illnesses, infections, and viral diseases, like malaria and typhoid, which have historically plagued our people. Inflammation, autoimmune disorders, arthritis, sickle cell disease, and chronic pain disorders, all of which disproportionately impact the descendants of the enslaved. I just don't know. Aren't you trying to determine not that this would prove anything, but are these statements even true?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Can they withstand any pushback when you look at so indigenous Americans, do they not suffer high rates of diabetes as well? Eastern Europeans, there's a high mortality rate of alcoholism, heart disease.
Yes.
So it's not specific to one ethnic group. So
hey, I want to show you guys something. Check this out. I'm be curious what you guys say about this. Dwayne, can you type in this phrase on your device there? Type in malaria in mandatory Palestine. Can you type that in? Malaria in mandatory Palestine. And just tell me what, even if you do the AI panel, just tell me what it says briefly. And who it affected. Because I'm looking here, you know, they're saying fever is one of the signs here. But did you guys search
Yeah,
that?
I saw. Yeah.
What is malaria? You're muted, Dwayne. You're muted. What is malaria and who did malaria and mandatory Palestine affect? Do you guys see the answer?
Hold on.
I see it. Yeah.
My bad, Dwayne. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just like
Hold
to.
on.
I like
Everybody in
to.
chat.
Down.
Anybody in the chat find it? It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's like, bro.
So they're really Israelites then. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Point made.
Yeah, I just want to. So let me just read this a little bit. Look, malaria was a major issue in mandatory Palestine, having been attested as endemic to the region since the biblical period. In the early 20th century, multiple malaria epidemics resulted in widespread deaths. The disease severely affected large areas of Palestine, including much of the land that was purchased by the Jewish settlement. And then you go on, and it says how they had anti-malaria campaigns, which saved a lot of people at the end. But do you guys understand? Those people you say could never be the people had a real problem with malaria, guys.
Yeah, they did.
It was major problem. So I don't know. Extreme burning. Okay, what's another one we want to look at here?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well,
Deuteronomy.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Deuteronomy 28:29.
You're gonna do. What are we gonna see in Deuteronomy 28:29?
We gonna see some undeniable. I have yet to get any real answers. This is one of the main ones that I get no real answers for.
Okay. We'll read the answer from this book.
Did BK?
What do they say about it?
Looks like BK had to go. By the way, I didn't.
What they answer for? Let's see.
I had a guys. Listen, it looks like BK had to go. I'm gonna take his picture down, but he's doing a part 2 of this on Sunday. So you definitely want to go to BK Apologist and check out what he's doing. And so we're going to have a part 2 because we're obviously not going to cover everything in this brand new book by IUIC we're taking a look at here called Apollopathetics. All right, Dwayne, we are on Deuteronomy 28:29 now.
I want to see what theirs is. What do they say?
You're going to love this.
How do they start there?
Yeah,
why do you say he's going to love this one, Jesse? Or why are we going to love this one?
I don't know. It's going to be watertight, certified exegetical truth right here in the book. Undeniable truth. I mean, because they are responding to us right here. You know, they're responding to us. So
yeah, it might be certified, all right, but I don't know.
Certified blasphemous.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys want to take a look?
Yeah, this prophecy, hold on, let's read it first.
All right.
And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So let's see what he says. It says, this prophecy describes a people lost searching for answers. What? And unable to find their way. The phrase grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness represents a people stumbling through different doctrines, ideologies, and symptoms, seeking solutions, but never finding lasting prosperity. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It says,
yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this, right? It says, thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in your ways.
That's right.
And
That's right.
And you are only going to be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So the thought that I have that I ask these questions to these Hebrew Israelites is this: if this is something the Most High is going to allow to come upon the children of Israel, and the blessings and cursings are outlined as it follows through these texts, it says, all of these curses shall come upon thee. Now, if the verse here says that you're only going to be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. I asked them to explain the fact that all of these non-believers, atheists, and all these other groups of people from the transatlantic slave trade that are doing great, that are not spoiled, that are not oppressed, and that are faring sumptuously every day of their life. Explain to me how that when the Most High says something, it doesn't come to pass, but only for a select few of people. Select few of people. And then it says, "No man shall save thee." The slaves were taken out of slavery by apologists who were Christians who got involved in the fight to take the to stop this atrocity from happening, and they were eventually released from the bondage of slavery. If this is something the Most High brought upon you, and He said you're only going to be oppressed, you would have to explain to me how you're not spoiled. How are you able to fly across the country, set up schools, build schools
Right.
in all these other countries? How is Bishop Nathaniel living in a multi-million-dollar house? You understand?
Flying all over the
Is he
world.
only oppressed? Is he only oppressed and
I
spoiled?
mean,
No.
that's why context matters. Do we not see in Lamentations, is it not describing Israelites like literally wandering blindly after their city was destroyed? So how do we not see this being fulfilled in biblical times? Jumping 3,000 years into the 15th century. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The whole anachronistic thing. That's what we're seeing here. Is it's a time warp. It's time warp theology. That's what I've learned to call it. It's time warp theology. Let's take all these events and basically all the negative history in the black community. That's everything negative, everything bad that's ever happened to us.
Okay, this was not a want, it was a need. I had to get my hands on this red sweat set. I've never seen a color like it. This is from
in short order.
But racial oppression is a universal human problem. We know this, that we've said this all the time. Look at the Irish under British rule. Look at the Chinese immigrants in the U.S. during the 19th century. Look, Jews under the Roman Empire. Look at the Jews under Nazi Germany. So it's not exclusive to one group. They say it's only happening to us. Well, then it doesn't separate them from any other part of the vast varieties of humanity. It really doesn't. So if we're going to apply these same principles to other groups, hey, they're Israelites too. Easily, they could argue that.
Yeah, correct.
It's ridiculous.
But it's strange. It's strange how they claim to be exegeting the scriptures, right? And then it says that they try to explain what this verse is saying without even dealing with the context of the verse. No one shall save you. Like, where's the breakdown on that? What does it mean where no one shall save you?
Well, I
Save
think
you
he
from
does
what?
say
From
something. Doesn't he say, Jim, in the book? He says Malcolm X tried. So this is a prophecy of Malcolm X. This is a prophecy of Martin Luther King Jr. It's like how we just jump all these centuries to say it's fulfilled during
they
last
used
time.
to
and
teach
it's not
Malcolm X was of the devil.
Yeah.
So-called
They used to
Malcolm
teach
X.
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Now
They used to say they was of the devil.
Now they teaming up with the Nation of Islam. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, seen that.
Yeah, they're teaming up with them now.
did see that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But
I don't understand why. Where's the breakdown on that? No man.
Oh, he
shall
says it
save
right
you.
here.
Like,
He says it right here,
no
Dwayne.
man
He says,
shall
"No man
save you
shall
from
save
what?
thee." Scroll
Let's
down
see
a
what it
little
says.
bit, vocab. You can see it. He's talking about. This is how they explain it.
yeah,
On the
This
next page.
means, yeah.
Okay.
I'm reading it
This
too.
is their exegesis of it. So no man will save you. I think it's on page 62. It could be if it's formatted like the book.
Okay, sorry. Oh, 62? Well, that's a lot farther then. Oh, like this? Oh, okay, I got it. Sorry.
There you go. Right here. Yeah, look at this.
No man
So this is how they understood it. I was like,
This
oh,
means
come on.
no
Yeah.
leader,
Is this one?
organization, or
Hey,
political.
I think
but
I
that's
think
not true.
I think they need
The
a line.
abolitionist was an organization.
They need to add a bullet point here. See where it says Martin Luther King Jr. fought for equality. He was assassinated. They need to put, and so was his mother by a Hebrew Israelite.
They didn't like when I brought that up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever heard them say, no one who's white can ever mention Martin Luther King because you assassinated him? And then I say, and then you can never mention him because you assassinated his mother.
That's right. Yeah.
So this is what we call in the live chat, it's what we call propaganda literature. This is easy. This is for people who probably have, they just want to be fed a theology, regardless of what the Bible's actually saying. They just need to them, I think they think this is a vast, deep book. You know, I really truly believe that's what the followers are thinking. They're like, wow, this is really, really hitting it on the head right here. But yeah, can't be critical of it.
All right, what's another verse we want to go to, gents?
Yeah, check out, I think it's 20. Oh, do you got one, Jim?
I was gonna ask Vocab, can you show my screen or no? I don't know how you set up.
I don't, if you, let me see here. I think you can try to share it.
Okay,
you gotta do it.
Okay.
I think you got to do it on your end, though.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. Okay, so I put this together just real quick, man.
All right, hold on. Let me, you're getting, okay, here, I know a way to do it, Jim. Okay, let me switch out you for Jesse, and then, let's see, I'm going to put your join on the screen here. Hold on just a second. Let's see how to do this. Hey, is Jim sound weird to you guys too?
He sounds like Optimus Prime.
Yeah, you ain't sounding right, my man. You might have to come back through. Yeah, we can't hear you. It's not that we can't hear you. It's you sound like a robot. Yeah, I think you have to come back on, bro. And then we'll.
I didn't know you could share that on. I didn't know you could do that on Ecamm. That's cool.
Yeah, man, you jealous or what, bro?
It's crazy. I got to get a Mac now. I got to get a different,
I think you do, man. I think you do.
I'm thinking about it. I'm switching iPhone end of the month. We'll see. We'll see if I take to it. I've been on Android for a long time, but.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Jim? Let's see if we can hear you, man. Okay, Jim, I'm gonna hang up, and if you can call back, okay? Because you don't sound right, bro. See, he's okay. Okay, well, we'll bring him back. All right, you are rocking with Vocab Malone, Street Apologist Live. This is a show where we serve the underserved and look into the overlooked. And what we're doing right now is reviewing this brand new IUIC apologetics book. They've called it Apolopathetics, a biblical response to urban apologetics and the curses of Deuteronomy 28. And we're looking at some of it. And I got some very special guests today. And we got an amazing panel. Earlier we were joined by BK. He had to jump off. But let's see again who we've got. We have got my man, Jim Green, Jesse Walsh, Dwayne, a.k.a. Mr. Debunking Hebrew Israelites, and Jim Green. Yeah, that's right.
Hello.
Jim Green is about to share something with us very
still
special.
Sound like a robot?
No, we can hear you now. So let's go ahead and let's see if you can. Where did it go? Let's see.
I gotta share it. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, if you can share your screen again, and then I'll bring up what you had there. Okay. Try to talk again. Okay, so whenever you share your screen, you're no longer able to be heard for whatever reason. So if you want to should do it, you're gonna have to send it to me. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You got to.
Some people saying he sounds like Ned from South Park.
Yeah, so I got to take that off, brother. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
It ain't gonna cooperate here. Okay, so let's go
Okay,
back.
no problem.
Back to this PDF here. We're taking a look at, and let's see. We're gonna go to the next verse, but what's the next verse we want to go to?
Look at
Well,
I thought was
well, I
rather
was gonna.
interesting.
Can we go to my?
Oh, yeah, go
Actually,
ahead.
my verse has something interesting.
Go ahead.
You guys won't be able to see it or whatever, but because my verses was the 23rd and 24th verses, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we go take a look at it. It quotes the verse, of course, and thy heaven that is thy head over shall be brass, and thy earth that is under thee shall be iron. Okay, that's 23. 24 says the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, upon thou until thou be destroyed. Okay, so basically, guys, here's the breakdown. If you go forward, it says verse 23 is telling you that the imagery of overhead and on the ground beneath, that represents slavery, guys. Collars and shackles around your neck and around your ankles. That was forced on us on the slave ships. That's the breakdown of verse 23. Are you serious right now?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be serious with that. Listen,
Okay,
there is
so that actually is really bad.
Yeah. That's terrible. Nobody who knows, who really who understands the basics of hermeneutics would ever come up with that. Period.
I ain't gonna lie. This is laughable on so many levels. Like, I don't understand if Bishop Nathaniel proposes himself to be a smart guy. Why would you let this book come out? First of all, I mean
That's a good question.
I mean, this guy, you know what? I forgot.
Nate,
this is the same.
Nate was
this
like
the same guy who said that America built the Suez Canal. So I mean, whatever.
Let's
Vibranium.
Let's not put that on the website. Let's go ahead and not put that on the website.
Yeah,
that is
in that same chapter.
So we do need.
He also argues. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, we do need to explain what it means. So, if you look at verse 23, everyone. So this is like Hebraic idioms. The heavens over your head shall be bronze. So what's supposed to be up there, everybody? Think in the live chat. What's supposed to be above your head, right?
Rain and clouds.
Right.
Yes, exactly. So if it's bronze, it's a poetic way to say it's not going to produce rain. You're not going to have
drought
rain.
and famine.
It's a poetic way. And in fact, it's a very Hebraic way to say you're going to have drought because there won't be rain. That's the whole point, because brass over the head is going to be a problem. It's not referring to... Look how everyone I need to show you. I'm tripping out as I look at this more and more. Live chat.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at this very carefully. Walk through this with me. Brass overhead represents iron, callers.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
Brass represents iron. Got it. Cool.
Brass represents
iron collars.
Iron collars. Yes. You're gonna tell me you're taking
droughts.
The Bible. You're going to tell me you're taking the Bible seriously? And it's so weird when it says, the imagery of brass over the head and iron under the feet. It's not poetic. Well, hold on. It's not iron above the head. It's brass above the head. So iron represents iron and brass represents iron. Mm-hmm. It's funny. They just said it's not poetic, and then they said it represents.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for drought and famine. We see this 1 Kings where Elijah prophesies of drought against Israel. We also see the famine being caused by Israel's disobedience in Jeremiah 14. So we can be consistent with it. We understand the language when that's just insane. The more you read, the more you read this book. Yeah, brass.
Yeah, and so the idea with iron and the earth under you, notice how. So what is your guys? I have the ESV. What does your guys say? Mine says the earth under your feet, the earth under you shall be iron. What does it say? What does your guys say?
Let me look it up.
Because they have it as iron under the feet. I want to see if
this is the NASB 95.
What's your NASB say?
Oh, I'm in NASB 25.
Because my point is, I don't even think you're getting the verse right. It says that
the heaven which is over your head shall be bronze, and the earth which is under you iron.
Okay. So it literally is telling you what's going to be bronze. It's not shackles or collars.
And then
Correct.
verse 24 explains it. The Lord will make the rain of your land powder, and the dust of heaven,
Yeah.
and it shall come down unto you until you're destroyed.
Land out of best from heaven it shall come down.
It's weird. It's almost like they recognize verse 23 and 24 to go together, because in their book and their breakdown, they put them together, right? Didn't they, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Yeah. So
but then they equate this all into, this is when they go into, like I was telling you guys earlier, if you go to the next page, talking about the black farmers make up less than 1% of the
Yeah,
U.S.
I mean,
Dude, if we're not choosing to go into that field, how is that part of a curse, bro? That's like, how do you use that as, well, there's only 1%, we only make up 1%. Come on, bro. Yeah.
and he goes on to mention
the
he goes on to mention the water contamination in Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yes, I did notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such as water contamination, Flint, Michigan, natural disasters disproportionately affecting black populations. Like, it doesn't happen to any other population.
Well,
I
wish you guys could see my deal I had, because I talk about stuff like the Anatolian plague that killed 5 to 10 million people with fever, vomit, diarrhea, blisters, pustules, all that kind of stuff. I talk about the plague of Justinian, which killed 25 to 30 million people, originated in Central Asia, Northeast Africa, get that, and spread to Constantinople. You understand? I'll talk about these. I'll talk about the Black Plague, which killed 25 to 30 million people, and Europe lost about 30 to 60% of its population. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about the Hong Kong plague, 12 to 15 million people. You know what I'm saying? You got this. This happens to human beings. Okay.
Right.
This is what happens to us.
It's part of Genesis 3 is what it's part of.
Right.
It's not part of IUIC's situation.
Exactly.
You notice how this is like the ultimate, like, looking through headlines and cherry picking. So it's like Flint. Black families. Well, Flint does affect black families, but I don't know if people are aware, there's more than just black folks who live in Flint.
I mean,
it's like, Hurricane Katrina, that's not, it's just heat waves in urban areas, toxic waste dumps.
Heat waves in urban areas.
You know what they didn't put? You know what they didn't put in here? The train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, that had a bunch of hazardous chemicals, and they spilled all over and totally altered the town. And they were getting on Biden because he didn't go visit until like months and months after. Like, he finally visited. And if you guys remember, this happened in East Palestine, Ohio. It was a big deal, this train derailment. It was a little Ohio town. My point is, that can't be on this list, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
This is just.
Yeah,
this is
Hurricane Katrina.
This is a
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, it is. It is apologetic. And you know what else is not on it? Since IUIC purports to be the savior of the black community, here's one thing that's missing, guys. I don't understand, and I could be wrong. You guys watch video too. Abortion is a big issue in the black community. In fact, the ratio of abortions to live births in 2021 was 2 to 1. Okay, for every one abortion, there were 2 births. Okay, high. We are one of the highest groups, if not the highest group, when it comes to abortion. Is that part of the curses too? I just want to know. I just want to know. And if it is part of the curses, why aren't you guys out in front of abortion clinics with your little setup and your little presentation? Why aren't you there preaching? How come you guys are not in Mississippi, where 80% of the abortions in Mississippi are from black women? Okay, why are you not there? Is that not? Are you not going after the curses there?
I think it's more.
I'm confused.
I think it's
not
more
in Babylon.
important. It's more important for them to be in front of churches on Mother's Day.
Right.
That's,
That's where the real evil happens.
That's a higher
For
priority. Sure. I don't know why you expect them to go to Planned Parenthood when they got to go where Aunt Shirley is on Mother's Day in front of Greater Rest Pilgrim Baptist. That's the priority right there. Now, maybe they'll mention abortion in the second book. To the
I doubt it.
To the author Cap GPT. Get it instead of Chat GPT. Cap GPT.
Well, I don't even think Chat GPT would
yeah,
I don't
be
know.
like warning.
It would make this
danger, logical error. Hoshaya.
You know what it honestly would say?
Hoshaya Amansar Israel. That's the author. Hoshea, I guess, is probably what they would say.
Yeah,
that's the
but
author.
I've dealt with AI long enough to know if you really tried to generate something like this, it would say, "Look, I can try to make a fictitious story, and this is what it will sound like." It wouldn't really just pump out something like this. You would have. So he actually wrote this, and he just copied and pasted certain events, and it seems like it's an easy format when we got apocryphal text in there. So that's basically what's going on. But trying to make that a ChatGPT, it probably wouldn't. Well, I think what you're trying to do is make a Hebrew Israelism ideology. I can give you some pointers, and it'll give you all these recommendations. But probably won't come up with this kind of work.
So, I mean, a live chat. I want to hear your opinion. What you think of this book? You're getting a flavor of it. I encourage you to buy it on Kindle. Go through it yourself. Leave a review on
$9,
Amazon.
Yeah.
Leave an honest review. I'm a capitalist. I say if somebody sells something you want for whatever reason, unless it's a tank, or something crazy, whatever, then you should be able to buy it. But what are you saying, Dwayne?
No, I'm saying it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not on the IUIC store though. That's where it's not.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird. Weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Nate was like,
but
I don't want any competition.
It would have been more respectful if they had actual quotes from apologists and then give the breakdown.
And then try to break those down and refute those. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what an answer to an apologist is.
Yes.
Like you didn't answer.
Cool. You're actually addressing something. Cool, we got something. But yeah, it's not what it is.
Yeah, because we have done shows where we go through their Deuteronomy 28 breakdowns. And interact with them. This has happened in real life. We've done debates on this topic, not with IUIC because the C in their name stands for coward. So they don't do it. But like we have actually done this.
In cowardism.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you like it.
Okay, so let's go jump over here to the live chat. I want to see what the live chat is thinking about this. Live chat, this is your chance to sound off. Yeah, let's get your. Steely Sam just says the book is pathetic. Okay, well, I mean, it is true. I'm not going to argue with you
Just not ready for the truth. You're not ready for 88 pages of truth.
Stephen Marcel says, I grade this book an F.
Marcelli.
Fantastic.
Lauren says, that book is the devil I won't buy. Reginald Wells. We were trying to get him on today. Brother's busy. Reginald, you're still invited if you're free now. He says, why would it be on their website when it's just their normal preset packet?
Expanded, basically. Yeah, on one chapter.
Benjamin says, you can't refute something without addressing it. Saying your point louder isn't debate. And Nate is coining a phrase that I've coined that I love, which is IUIC Jesus.
I see Jesus.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Nate's always got the funny quotes, man.
Right?
We got David says great work, knocking it down, brothers. We're
Bishop
trying to get
Barron.
Yeah, we'll get him back on. We'll get him on. Brother Brian, shout out Brother Brian. He's always sending me good information. He says sad. That's right. And then we've got April says they use their narcissistic tendencies to try to fulfill the hole in their heart and self-esteem. They're unresolved. Well, I don't know about all that. I don't like doing psychoanalysis on people I've never met, especially. Just saying. Steven just says, okay, well. All right, so we got a couple comments here from the live chat, and I just wanted to see what you guys had to say.
One guy said that the Europeans stole the Aztecs' technology. I thought that was an interesting take on this book. When they don't even mention Hispanics, Aztecs, none of that. Where do they fit in with the camp, with the 12 tribes? It's obvious that was they weren't gaining as much members. Bring them in, Hispanics and Native Americans. Yeah, you guys are in it too.
Well,
but mostly, it's about
there's
us.
an old conspiracy theory. It's because they wanted the ladies. They were in New York and they wanted the Latina ladies. That's the old theory. Okay, so here we go.
I heard that.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, he's telling us something about himself. All right. Ain't nothing wrong. Okay, so what verse do we want to go to next here, gents?
Let's go to
31.
verse 27, 28. They put those together.
All right, we'll go 27, 28. And after that, we'll hit 31.
Yeah. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Mm-hmm. We broke this down on that one video we did. Remember, Jesse, when you and I did?
Yeah. So we bypassed Assyria. We bypassed Babylon. All that nonsense of history and biblical times. We jump to.
I need data on this. Boils,
yes.
recurring skin infections that disproportionately affect our people. I need
What?
data on that.
Yeah.
I ain't never even seen nobody with a boil.
Like
exactly.
The people I see most like this:
summer camp, lockup,
the homeless
prison,
people down
jail.
the block.
Yeah,
and they're very diverse.
Homeless Israelites.
What's this one? GMS. You talking about GMS?
Yeah. The homeless Israelites.
Hey, what's this one? This is maybe my favorite part. You guys see this? The third bullet point. Dwayne, did you see this third bullet point?
Yeah, look at this. Read that one, Dwayne.
Hold on.
Jim, you see the third bullet point there?
Vitiligo. Yeah, I had it. When I was debating somebody that brought up this.
Read how he described it.
Vitiligo was leprosy.
But look what it says.
Other autoimmune.
Look how he described it, Dwayne.
Skin disorders. Huh?
Conditions that strip melanin, further disconnecting us from our nature, our natural beauty and heritage.
They said Michael Jackson. They said Michael Jackson had leprosy. I was debating.
So he was becoming a.
Yeah.
So was he losing his ethnicity? Is that what's going on with the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the idea that they tried to make leprosy as skin disease is laughable, bro.
Yeah.
That is utterly ridiculous. And anybody that does 5 minutes of research can destroy that. That's just dumb. That's just.
dumb you just got to go to World Health Organization to get these kind of statistics. He talks about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. World Health Organization. You can just look up stats for this. Who? Oh,
yeah.
I always do
my
that.
bad.
Very funny vocab.
Yeah. So if he's talking about mental illness, right? We got 280 million people suffering globally with depression. Okay, is that an ethnic? Is it based on ethnicity? No. Schizophrenia affects 24 million people worldwide. There's just no racial exclusivity. Anxiety disorders we have. In non-Hispanic whites, we have 16.5 per 100,000. Black, 7.7 per 100,000. So, I mean, just an easy refutation of looking up information. And that's the sad part about when they do their classrooms. It's about, and we talked about this numerous times, cut them off. And that's what cults do. That's what tyrants do they cut off any information, any critique of what they believe. Cut them off. Yes. Don't get that outside influence and stuff. So this stuff is easy. Yep. If you're in IUIC and you're kind of doubting them, read an article. You'll obviously see it'll stand out. That this is a false system.
Like I would have respected this book a little bit more if he would have said according to this research paper.
Cite a source.
At least
even nothing is sourced.
Even if it's still a leap. You know what I mean? Even if it's still silly to be like, well, look, since we get malaria, we're Israelites. Even though that's silly,
it's not like Forrest Gump. Israelites.
Then I was running from the mosquito. I was running.
We can look at
if you just could have cited it and be like, okay, at least he put some effort. He's trying, But it's they're like, no, we don't need that. I'll just take the PowerPoint from the bishop. And go ahead and paste it right in here. Bishop, can I get that PowerPoint from the last 5-hour class? Yeah, we're good. And then you get this. Beyond skin diseases, the botch also refers to tumors and cancer. African Americans suffer from higher rates of aggressive cancers, including lung, breast, prostate, and colon cancer. Notice how little you see about Native Americans in here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, or Hispanics.
Like, you see very
just
little. Very little.
Very little.
You know?
Mhm.
It's like,
Yes.
come on, guys.
Not
Got the botch of Egypt.
Not
How
yet.
did
I
the
was just going to say.
Go ahead, Jim.
Go ahead, Jesse.
I was going to touch on the botch of Egypt, where
Yes.
it's referring to the common diseases in Egypt. Why is this not?
Thank you.
We're not looking to
Thank
Exodus
you.
for ideas and
Thank you.
understandings. The text: emerods, tumors, swelling. We see this in. It's not exclusive. We know that the curses are not exclusive to Israel, but were sign of God's displeasure of any disobedient people. Look at let's look at I mean, I don't have to pull to it. I have it right here. 1 Samuel 5:6, the Philistine plague. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them as Ashdod, and he destroyed them and smote them with emerods, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. So even the Philistines, after capturing the Ark of the Covenant, were struck with what?
It's
Emerods.
called Ashdod, see, because they had been afflicted by a lack of lotion, and so they were ashy, and so the city became Ashdod. See,
Ashdod.
Ashdod is a proof that they fulfill the curses because of
This is
Ashdod.
proof. Tangible.
See, Dodd in the Philistine language is dad, and you can hear the similarity. So it's their fathers were ashy. Now, if the fathers are ashy, everyone in the community is ashy.
No faking. No
But
faking.
the point is, in all seriousness, the disobedience. When we see the full revelation of the New Testament, we see the sin of humanity going all the way back to what Vocab brought up, Genesis 3. Any disobedience of anybody, not just Israel. So God's wrath did fall upon other nations. So it's not exclusive to Israel. It's just not a marker. It's not a marker
Check out
to
this.
find out.
Vocab. Check out. There's a chat in here.
Create. They was killing you, Apollopathetics, without a book. Happy Abib. Happy new moon. Hey, we're glad you guys could finally figure out when the new moon was, by the way. I don't know if you were there for that controversy, Create. I don't know if you had joined the group yet, but it was a big controversy when Nate finally figured out when the new moon was, and he had to convince all the bishops. Well, I don't even think they had other bishops. He had to convince all the other deacons that he was right. And over time, somehow they all magically saw the same thing that only he saw, which they had previously condemned people for about when they kept track of the moon. So, yeah, happy new moon to you, too. Glad you finally got that figured out over there.
That's Cynthia in the chat. She's right. They were hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are technically hemorrhoids, That's what's going on.
The thing is, so there's some stuff that could be considered serious here. Like, I'm no expert in this, but, there's something to be discussed about racism and bigotry and its effect on communities and how to help people in all kinds of conditions and situations, and looking at some of the stats and coming up with solutions and thinking about this in a very serious, holistic way. By the way, all this stuff, not that every church is perfect, but a lot of this kind of stuff, it's the churches that you see trying to take care of, that give free medical care.
For built hospitals?
Yeah, every year, our church, for example, it's a very small church, but we do an event called Bless the Block, and one of the things that sometimes we do is work with organizations that bring out these traveling medical vans. They're bigger than vans, though. They're almost like tour buses, and you can do appointments and get some health care, which is very important to certain communities, without any kind of appointment or insurance. They're there for you. You go, and these kinds of things are actually IUIC would never do anything like that because they don't believe in helping the community.
Right.
They do not believe in it. So
Right,
it's like, you guys are
Unless it's
writing
being
this
filmed.
book. To you, these people who are actually experiencing this IUIC, don't act like you care about them. It's just, these are just words on a page for an argument for your group.
Yeah.
You don't
video footage.
You're not really helping them. And even your solution is, if you wear fringes, your eczema will go away. Is that really your
wear fringes, put on a dress?
In all seriousness, they really do come to, I have had IUIC guys say, you understand the Bible better once you stop eating pork. You can't properly understand it when you're eating pork. It's like
Sounds like something that one Wester would say.
Oh my goodness.
these are real things they have said. So,
wow.
So let's continue on. Dwayne, you had one, right?
Yeah, 31. It says,
man. Go ahead.
Let me
Go
get
ahead.
this. Hold on. Let me get this back in NESB 95.
So we're looking, everyone, at IUIC's new book. The book is called Apollopathetics, and it's supposed to be against urban apologetics, but really it's just essentially an IUIC commentary on Deuteronomy chapter 28. We're not going through everything, but we're going through a couple verses. I have Jim Green with me today, Jesse Walsh, Mr. Debunking Hebrew Israelites, and now earlier Alfredo was with us. He's going to do a part 2 Sunday. Now let's take a look at 28:31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shalt not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. What's going on there, Dwayne?
I want to see what their
Let's hear what they say. Yeah,
on
let's
it.
hear what they say is going
Yeah, I
on.
want to hear the breakdown on that. Because that's about to be wild. I could just imagine.
Yeah, this is.
When the transatlantic slave trade began, millions of Israelites from the west coast of Africa were taken and forced into labor. Their work building the economies of European nations and the Americas. Their oxen and livestock were taken, their lands were seized, their own bodies were turned into property to enrich their oppressors. Don't know.
This curse does not end.
I don't know if they would qualify.
Planting vineyards.
Yeah, it just goes into more transatlantic slave trade stuff on the right too. It's just
the Freedmen's Bank collapse in 1974 was pretty interesting. I saw that's a pretty interesting takeaway from that verse.
Say what?
Yeah, it's shocking because the blessings take place in the land, right? But they saying this right here took place in Africa.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah.
Well, numerous places.
But that goes back to my theory about the 21st verse and why they don't want to deal with it. Because like I said, if God is saying He's taking them away from the land that they were going in to possess, which means Canaan, how is that the transatlantic slave trade? How is it? It's not. It can't be. Period. That's it.
Bring up our one and only super chat today. I do want to thank the brother for the super chat. Kingdom Apologetics. Why don't people get as mad as this doctrine as they do about Calvinism? Praise the Lord and bless you, brothers. Hey, I feel the same way. I don't know why they, especially the nice Calvinists, leave them alone and deal with the Israelites instead. Come on, guys. Okay, what else do we?
Leave Calvinists alone.
So really, they're just repeating. Like, remember, didn't we already read earlier about this? Even today, black farmers own less than 1% of America's farmland.
Yeah,
wasn't that? Yeah. They're just like repeating their.
That's what I'm saying. They're just basically going over every tragedy that's ever happened to black people in America and just bringing it all up. It's like as if they went and did the research pulled up every black tragedy ever in U.S. history, and we're going to put it into the book. That's it.
Well, you remember with that what's his name? Not Bishop Nathaniel, the second in command. What's his name? The bald head guy.
You talking about the older guy?
Oh, you talking about what is that?
I forgot his name.
I think Yawasop.
Remember when Yawasop said, the Bible say whatever IUIC say it says, that's what it says.
Oh, you talking about him?
We are the authority on the Bible.
Yeah, because we say. So it's funny after the whole book of all that's the content you get, but at the very end, vocab, you should read that it's like the last paragraph. Well, under the acknowledgments, how they act like they have addressed urban apologists, but then he goes into this kind of this dedication to his mom. Thanks for being there for me and praying for me. It's kind of awkward, how it's placed.
Here, let me take a look here.
Yeah, that first little paragraph
concludes Deuteronomy 28, 50, 32 edition 1. I pray and hope that you gain understanding from this book. The book is written for the so-called urban apologist. Wait, I thought it wasn't written for us. Didn't the beginning of the book say it was not written for us?
So inconsistent,
itself
man.
all the time.
Brother,
So inconsistent.
just keep it together from the front to the back, my man. You like
I can't.
who are not apologists
Control
at
your
all.
mule.
You
Control
are
that mule.
you are apolopathetic, and that is the truth. I wonder if he thinks he's like hurting someone's feelings or something.
Got us, man. It got us.
You're whoever the guy who wrote this, whatever particular city you're in. If I showed up at your city, you wouldn't even be allowed to address me. So like, you know, you're not even like what. Last time I went out on the street with IUIC Phoenix, they weren't allowed to talk to me or address me, and there was a woman there with her daughter. And she was trying to listen to what they were saying. Now, I was okay disrupting it, right? And there's a part where she kind of like tells me off a little bit. And they're like, that's right. That's right. And they get all excited. I haven't released the full video. Yeah. It gets even worse later. They get all excited. And I'm like, you're a bunch of men out here, and you're having this woman and her daughter fight for you. Aren't you embarrassed? Like, I saw that. I'm just saying. Come on, man. I want to give a special acknowledgement to my mother. Mom, okay, just. So his mom's not an Israelite. She's not.
Nope.
She
He's
hasn't
praying for her though.
Hey,
she's probably a Christian.
To the author, why would you want your mom in a group that on the regular basis says "Never trust black women"? That's literally a T-shirt that Get a Lie had made.
Wow.
Why would you want your mother to be in that organization? I don't know.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yep. Like she's a Christian. Christianity, as it is widely taught today, is not of God, nor is it of the Bible. But I want to thank you, Mom, for giving your all, for working hard to provide for us, and for never tearing us down as men. You know, I thought Christianity produced horrible women.
Isn't that interesting? Like, just it's like a scattered thought. It's like there's scattered thoughts. So when you see him put this on paper in a book, you see the scattered thinking.
Gosh, it's sad. You know, yeah, you're right, Jesse. You want him to write more books because this is good for us, but it's like sad to look at in real time. You know, it's like it's like
you're saying this, and now you're saying this.
Yeah, it's like watching a tomato can step into the ring. And he says, Christianity, in a time when feminism has been weaponized against men, I never saw the spirit in you. Because she was a Christian.
He's a Christian.
Despite the struggles he faces as a single mother, for that I am truly grateful. Man, the cognitive dissonance.
The pure hypocrisy in this book.
I also want to give honor and recognition to my leadership. Double honor to Bishop Nathaniel, Bishop Kanai, and Bishop Jan. What's up? Honor to the deacons, captains, soldiers, and all the brothers and sisters led me to push his truth to the four corners of their shalom, most high. Okay.
This truth, not the truth, but this truth. You ever notice how they say that? Not the truth.
This truth.
I wanted to make a point too, because vocab, you were talking about how Christians have definitely been a positive entity in communities. That's absolutely 100% true. And to my point about in the abortion in the black community, there are black churches that are actually going after this. I'm looking at a document from OhioSenate.gov, and I just want to point out something really quick. So it's there's a big article. I'm not going to read it all, but I'm just going to read the end of it, and then I'm going to read these. I'm going to count these names of these churches that are fighting against abortion in the black community. Okay, it says this is not a party line vote, nor issue one, a Republican or Democrat issue. This is a moral issue, and for the black community in particular, it is a life or death matter. Life is worth defending, and issue number one targets innocent life. History warns us against this dangerous proposal. We can and must be better than the devastation.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story,
which every child, woman, and family can thrive, regardless of their race or background. Let's begin to work instead of allowing more innocent black babies to die. And it's signed Senator Michelle Reynolds, who represents Ohio Senate District Number 3. Here are all the pastors. I'm not going to name the pastors, but there's a line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's like 30 or 40. Oh my gosh, more than that. Oh my goodness. It's like almost 100 different organizations and black pastors in Ohio, or black churches in Ohio that are in support of this bill, black and white. So, like I said, for all the besmirching and attacking that you do on Christianity, I don't see you at the head of one of the biggest problems that we got in the black community, and that's taking the life of a baby in the womb of the mother. So what are you guys going to do about that? That's what I want to know.
Right. And can I give a brief synopsis?
They're gonna keep asking you to donate that money so they can travel.
Oh yeah. Get the IUIC
Or the land
TV
blitz
subscription.
The land blitz. That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
y'all know about the land blitz?
Yeah, they're about to Branch Davidian it up over here.
Man, bro, you said that. Hey, that's the look. That's the first thing that came out. Jonestown, Guyana came up in my mind. Branch Davidians came up in my mind, where they said, "Hey, let's get our own land. Let's get away from everybody else." That's where they own now. That's what tip went down now. That's all kind of red flags.
Guess where I think they're going to do it?
Atlanta, right?
Did they say that?
Oh, Atlanta.
I think. Well, that's where they're doing
land
the
in Africa
fundraising
right
now.
now.
No, if you send the checks, you send them. If you send the check, you send it to Arizona.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I know the checks, you're supposed to send checks to Arizona.
Wow. That's crazy.
I might be having some new neighbors.
Wow. If they do show up like that, bro, I'm gonna fly out there for about a week.
Oh, you should have left California anyway, bro.
Oh, you right about that. I am in 100% agreement with you, brother.
I'm just saying.
So do you guys want to hear how I define this book? It's pretty dead on.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so apologetics, it's not an academic or theological work. It's a propagandistic reinterpretation of biblical history designed to reaffirm a pre-existing racial ideology rather than discover biblical truth. It lacks intellectual integrity, as it refuses to subject its claims to the scrutiny of biblical exegesis, historical records, or linguistic analysis. It contradicts itself. We've seen that numerous times. Claiming to be rooted in Scripture while ignoring clear biblical teachings on redemption, historical fulfillment, and the nature of Israel's identity in Christ, Romans 9. It weaponizes suffering, turning oppression into an identity rather than pointing to the biblical hope found in Christ's work. So by very definition, apologetics is a race-based revisionist text that distorts Scripture to fit a modern agenda, relying on confirmation bias rather than historical, theological, or exegetical truth. It doesn't stand up to critical examination, even the basic examination that we did tonight. Because I'm planning on doing some more shows on, breaking it apart a little more. It falls apart under the weight of biblical context, historical evidence, and logical scrutiny. So it's just not an apologetic source whatsoever. It's just theological propaganda dressed in biblical language, devoid of any truth and utterly bankrupt in its claims. So that's what we've got through so far. I can't wait to see volume 2. What it is.
Hey, can you take that review and can you put it underneath the Amazon book?
I was going to put it on Amazon. That's what I was going to put on Amazon.
Hey, can you do it right now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Let's everyone go on Amazon in the book.
In real time.
Hey, I'm going to say something to the audience real quick. If you haven't read the book, or at least the free sample that's available at the beginning of the Amazon, or watch this show extensively and looked at it, I don't think it's an integrity to leave a review of a book and act like you've read it when you haven't. Now, Jesse has read it. So to the audience, I don't want people go on there and just put the book is trash. I don't think that's, to me, that's not
give it a real analysis.
Yeah. If you can't do that, you could at least say IUIC is a destructive organization, or you could say something about the organization. But I don't think, to me, because I don't think it's right to just be like, oh, the book's trash without any. I don't think that's apologetics.
Right.
I don't think you're helping anybody.
That's not what it's about.
But what Jesse did is different, and what I'm encouraging the audience is do something more like what Jesse did, even if it's short. But don't just put it's trash, something like that. Even though my thumbnail has
Review
the
this
book
product. Here we go.
going into
All
the
right, about to throw
dumpster.
it on there.
You don't have to talk to yourself the whole time, just so you know. Does he hear me? Okay, let's see what they say. JJ says name of the book. Name of the book. The name of the book is called Apollopathetics. Let me put it on the screen here for you. Yeah, it's pretty funny, right? I'm going to put it on the screen. That's the cover of the book. That's the name of the book. So it's Apollopathetics. And it's got IUIC on the cover with their banners. I don't know if you guys saw that they have these fancy new banners with the tribes. Except
yeah.
Of course, you don't have Dan.
How many stars should I give it?
I would give it
live chat.
So hey, another thing about that. Good question. Yeah, live chat. What would you say? Here's my opinion. If you give a book a 1 star, you have to define what would actually be a 1-star book. Because, hey, I say do whatever, but to me, a 1-star book would be like hard to read and typos that are real, and like plus bad argumentation and poorly put. Like it would have to be everything wrong with it. To me,
how about 3?
Well,
I'll give it 2.
Hey, that's up to you.
I think 3 is high.
Yeah, 3 seems high because it's only 5, right? I feel like
2. 3 is a bit high
because I'm judging this from the Hebrew Israelite perspective.
Jesse, you can give a 1 because you got that review ready for it. Now,
how do I submit it?
I would say the reason why I would say it's a 1, but I ain't about to be typing all that, so I'm gonna do it too. But the reason why I would say it's a 1 is because the simple fact that it has a biblical response to urban apologetics. If they didn't have that in the title,
you could have gave it a 2.
You had some wiggle room, but because there was there was no response.
He posted it. All right,
posted
it. So that is a good point. I think you could be within your rights to give it a 1 star if you pointed out the fact that the content has nothing to do with the title, and that's misleading.
No, it is not.
So that's misleading. I'm just comparing it to the worst Hebrew Israelite books I've seen of all time. That's why I would say I wish I could give it like a 1.5 or 1 3/4. I would probably give it a 2.
2 is right. Okay.
I agree with the 2. I personally would give it a 2, but because I'm comparing it to other Israelite books. But Dwayne, your point is very well taken. He's saying because of how misleading it is, this joint this might deserve a 1. That is a good point because it is false advertising on this guy.
Yeah,
Let's see some of the live chat super chats. Analog Man says, Deuteronomy 28:7, thou shalt not abhor. Oh, it's 23:7 though. Real quick, I know you're probably typing real quick. It's 23:7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in this land. That's exactly right. By the way, the verses surrounding it are also very helpful, because it says that they can come into the congregation of Yahweh.
Yes.
After a certain amount of time, their descendants can. So that's even like boom, 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 boom. It's like once you're really in there, you're part of the assembly of Yahweh. That means you're able to have full religious rights and worship with Israel.
That's right.
Also, it proves the point of why you should do this thing, because you were a stranger in their land. It tells you when the Bible says stranger what it means, because they try to repackage stranger. Oh, that's an Israelite stranger. No, it tells you exactly what it means. So great verse to bring up, Analog Man. Minister Meach, who's sometimes my partner in crime on the smoke rooms. He's a great at answering the questions. Great apologist. Peace to Jim, Dwayne Walsh, and you vocab Dwayne, Jim Walsh. I hope we can run a TikTok smoke room for the brews. We've got to bring vocab to Shalom and agape to the Ecclesia. That's right. I'm with that. Dwayne's probably the man to talk to about that.
For sure.
Be doing it, maybe putting it in.
Yeah, and Purely Grounded, who is a farmer, says, unfortunately, truth in Jesus is not what IUIC's followers are after, so the cult leaders can spew nonsense and get paid for it. Yeah, I mean, I think, IUIC's got a lot of people in there that are poorly churched. Maybe they're well-meaning. But at the end of the day, they have joined a cult. And here's the thing about cults. And by the way, I don't call all Hebrew Israelite groups cults. Some are more cultish than others, but some I would say that's not really a cult in the sociological sense. Now, there's a sense of how you define a cult in the theological sense, meaning something that has doctrine that is heterodox or heretical. By that definition, most groups would be theologically cultic. But if we're going more with like the sociological definitions, what has to do with things like cutting off close friends and relatives and sleep deprivation and those kind of classic tactics, then not all of them would be. But IUIC definitely would be. If any Hebrew Israelite group is a cult, IUIC is a cult. Honestly, UPK is as well, because of the commanding General Yohana and how they got to ask for permission, and he's second only to Christ. But I think IUIC
is a trip.
Yeah, ICGJC is, but IUIC is to me the most of all of them. People are
formation and those marches. It just kind of it just gives off this cult vibe. Like we all think alike. We all look like the leader. We all have to. Yeah, it's pretty trippy.
Yeah.
You hate black unity. Well, no, I don't hate black unity.
It's not even black unity.
Like cults. No,
it's not.
That's why people like in the Umar Johnson camp are like, why are you adding Native Americans and Hispanics to the mix?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening?
On our people.
Yeah.
What's happening?
And especially vocab. I'm waiting to see what you're going to do with this expansion of the 12 tribes chart. I'm really looking forward to that right there, bro.
I got to get that book. What's it called again?
Island of Deception.
3 times. Island of Deception. I'm always thinking of something else.
Is that available?
Island of Deception.
Yeah, I would. It's expensive to buy in hardcover. I would recommend the digital, but it's
the ebook is like what?
It's a lot less. I forgot what it is, but
let's see.
It's so let me tell you what that book is.
On Kindle it's $3.99.
Yeah, I recommend doing that because it's way too expensive. So check it out
right now.
I'll give you a quick preview, and then we're gonna take a look at the live chat. Let me show you something here to everybody. This book that Nathaniel ostensibly wrote called Island of Deception. This thing. The beginning of it is a defense for including new groups onto the 12 tribes chart, basically. People like that are from Papua New Guinea, for example. They've never been included on most 12 tribes charts. And in the 12 tribes chart breakdown, it includes straight up Africans now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Polynesians are a Naphtali.
Yeah. Because that makes sense, yes.
So the beginning of the book is like that. However, after you get past that section, then the book is a travel log. That I don't know if you're familiar with that genre of writing. Then we went here. We waited 3 days after having a nice chicken dinner. The fat pastor faced off, and he was sweating and embarrassed to be destroyed by the prophet. The book is literally like that.
Yeah, it's like that. The
Kinda
fat
the
man by the van.
They're
narrating whatever they're doing.
Trail.
You know what?
From Oregon.
You know what it is, Dwayne? I'll tell you what it is. They think they're writing Acts the 29th chapter.
Yeah, they're like reliving it. Yeah, they're like reliving it
in their mind. They think they're writing Acts 29.
Wow.
That's how it is. And so it's bizarre, bizarre as can be. But I'll show you guys more of that probably next week is when we're planning to do that show. But I appreciate all your guys' hard work. Appreciate the super chatters. Appreciate everybody coming in here. And yes, there is edition 2 coming out pretty soon. And this is the book I mentioned. I think they'll drop it. He's already put out the first one, right?
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm looking at the Amazon reviews, and they got fringes. You can buy a Zondervan, an Apocrypha, Babylon of Timbuktu, then they got some fringes you can get for $18.98.
That's the IUIC starter kit right there.
Just like, dude, they are hooking it up. These are like bestsellers.
Oh, wow.
So here's the other book I mentioned. Jacob Martinez. I mentioned this book earlier in the show. It's a book called The Mindset of a Leader, Program Yourself. Since it's written by IUIC member, it should be called The Mindset of a Follower, Let Yourself Be Programmed.
Was that by someone from IUIC?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it is.
Sitting right next to the other two.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sitting right next to Island of Deception and Apologetics.
They've dropped 3 books this year. So Christian apologists, where are your books? Wow. Get on the ball. That's right. Me and Jesse are working on some books actually. Me, Jesse, and
it's working. It's working.
Yeah,
some good stuff.
All right, y'all. We got to get out of here. It's been a blessing to be with you. God bless. Peace out. Much love. Shalom. Thank you, everybody who came on. Thank you to the live chat.
Everybody.
Yeah, and hey, come back tomorrow. I'm going to be on with Tony Rogers. We're going to be talking about hyperdulia. Hyperdulia.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you get, in Atlanta, and I look over, I got my, wait, what? What you getting, man?
SpaghettiOs for the kids, man.
Just
with a song.